Hi there everybody, and welcome to this week's House of Bread video log. We've got a wonderful special guest. We've got Steve Cranston here with us, and in the absence of Will, we've got Lisa who's joining us on the sofa as well. Morning everybody.
Morning. Morning.
Now we've got a lot to get through, so we'll just romp on through it. First of all, great to have you here, Steve.
Wonderful to be here with you, thank you.
No, thanks for coming. Now, Will invited you along because you've got some interesting work that you do. Tell us a little bit about it.
Okay, what I do is I have two sides of things that I do. The first is I run a film company, and I'm sure there's no one else in the room that has anything to do with that. and the second thing is I run...
Moving swiftly along.
and I run referral networking groups, which is bringing businesses and people in the community together.
Yeah. To
help people support the local economy.
Right, brilliant. And those are kind of networking groups are really effective, aren't they?
Right, exactly. They're great for putting people together, but they're also...
What's the name of yours? Go on, we'll do a little plug. That's
the name of ours is Business for Breakfast.
Business for Breakfast. And are you looking for any particular industry sectors at the moment that are absent from any of your...
You've been well trained, haven't you? We are. We're looking for marketeers at the moment.
Marketeers.
Public relation companies. We're looking for a photographer. Photographer would be great to join.
Great.
Tradespeople would be fantastic as well. But essentially anyone that works locally. We've got so many groups in the area now that we've got 3 groups in Stafford, we've got
3 in Stafford,
we've got 7 in Stoke, we've got 9 in the West Mids as well. So
brilliant.
We're going to accommodate people all over.
Well listen guys, we don't mind the odd plug here at House of Bread. We're all about the local community, and that includes businesses. So if you've not used any of these networking groups before and you run a business, get involved, because I have done in the past and it's certainly made a difference, I can tell you that. Anyway, there was... You're a Christian, aren't you? You're a man of faith. And how does that come across in your day-to-day work? Is it difficult? Do you share that with people, or do you just kind of keep it hush?
I think, first, the most important thing about being a Christian in the workplace is that you're leading by example, because often you're the first person, or you could be one of the few people that person comes into that's actually a Christian, so they actually will often look at you as being their example of what a Christian should be. So I think it's something to be very conscientious of, is that when you do sort of show people that you are a Christian, and personally I find the referral networking groups a great place to share that, because a lot of ours meet in churches. And in fact we have one that meets just across the road from here, and in the Beacon International Centre. And it's fantastic to be able to share with people that it's not just a conferencing centre, but it's also our home church. I've actually had several people come to faith and visit our church through coming to what they thought were business groups, and then finding out that there was actually a church involvement in this, liking the church angle of that. But I think the most important thing for me is setting a positive example and showing that you're also living a Christian life, as well as stating that you're a Christian.
I think that's really good, yeah. I think it's very important in our day-to-day lives that people are aware, because otherwise people's impression of Christians and the Christian faith can be a lot smaller than it actually is. So it's helpful and it's comfortable, I think, for people to be aware that we're everywhere. You know.
And often you find that by sharing with some people, actually, so many others can just come out that haven't had the confidence to share, but actually, have you ever had sort of like a church history, have an interest in the church, or are Christians themselves, but just felt a bit nervous about talking about it, and it can become a real sort of focal point to help build up other Christians in the community by sharing in the workplace that you're a Christian. And others come out and find that they can sort of also sort of like share and have someone that they can talk to about that.
I mean, if you don't share your faith, you could be going to work with somebody or being close with somebody in a community setting for a long time and just not even know that you have this potential for fellowship, for getting together, sharing something in common.
I'm sure you've heard so many stories about that, where people have gone to work the same place for years.
Yeah.
And haven't realised that the person's a Christian, and
as well.
It catches on.
Yeah. Good.
That happened to me actually. There was a guy I worked with at GEC Measurements in the office, and it wasn't until I actually bumped into him in church and went, "Oh, you're a Christian then?" And he went, "Yeah."
But isn't it fantastic when it happens as well?
Yeah, it is.
It's just a shame it's not seen as so often.
We need to be a little bit bolder, don't we, sometimes about sharing our faith? Because I think sometimes if we walk out of church, and it might sound a little bit harsh, but I don't know how many of the viewers actually go to church. I'm sure some do, but perhaps you should write in and tell us if you do. You know, you come out of church, you know, looking a certain way, and then that old-fashioned thing, you just turn your coat the other way round, put it back on again to go out into the world, and gosh, that's quite a harsh analogy, but it's kind of what we do sometimes, I think. Right, and you'll forgive me, I'm not actually looking at my telephone, these are my notes, it's all proper and official, we're just proper tech here. Right, thanks for that, Steve. If we'll move swiftly along, otherwise we'll end up with the half-hour house bread show.
What's the name of your company then?
My company name.
Shush.
Lilac Films.
Lilac Films, right.
Lilac Films, and I'm sure they're brilliant.
Yeah, thank you, Steve.
We're a friendly company.
Thanks for that, Lisa.
That's okay.
Thanks. You're a giver.
I am. I try.
Right, Conservative Club.
Conservative Club, yes.
Association or club? Or
Association.
Yes.
It's Stafford Conservative Association. It's the wonderful wood-faced building at the bottom of Doxey Road,
Yeah.
the junction of Castle Street.
By the restaurant that keeps changing names.
By the restaurant that keeps changing
Yeah.
names. It used to be the Castle Tavern. Yeah, just opposite there. As Will said last week, almost at the 11th hour. Yeah, we all met there on Wednesday. Thank you so much to all our wonderful volunteers. You would not have known that we hadn't have been there before.
That's amazing.
Everybody just walked in, knew what they were doing, set up. We fed everybody. Everybody was lovely and warm, well spaced out. Fantastic venue. Thank you very much, Jeremy.
Did anyone take any photos?
I was going
Mobile
to.
phone photo?
I was going to, but some of our friends, understandably, don't want to be on photos. We'll have to try and do something for Christmas if we can get something for Christmas.
So some photographs of that event will not be appearing on your screen now.
I need to go and ask people whether it's okay, because some people don't mind, some people do, which is understandable.
And we need to thank Alison at the Staffordshire newsletter for her
Alison
continued
Thomas.
support. Alison Thomas.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, round of applause.
Yeah.
Makes a difference, Alison, a huge difference.
It does, yeah. It does.
Okay, so the dinner dance dates.
Dinner dance date. Oh,
Let's get that
dear.
there.
Oh, I had two notes left for me. Charity ball, are you going?
That's going to be fun.
13th of February at the County Showground, so it's a posh venue.
Starting at what time?
It's starting 7:15 for 7:45.
And are you selling tables?
We're selling tables. Tables of 10 are £250.
Oh, so buy a table and then
so it's
sell the
25
tickets to your
quid a
friends.
ticket.
Oh, come on. That's the way to do it.
Everything is going to House of Bread. 4-course dinner and dancing to, I believe it's 3 and 6.
3 and 6. I read it as 3/6D.
Yeah, I know, but I think it's 3 and 6.
3 and 6.
Yeah, carriages at 1 AM, black tie or lounge suit, please.
Ooh,
if you want to treat that special person in your life just for Valentine's Day, I haven't invited anybody yet. There's about 6 million men going, no, don't invite me, don't invite me.
I thought you were going to say there's about 6 million men going, I want Lisa, I want to take Lisa.
In your dreams. Yeah, so that's the 13th of Feb, so come along, it's going to be a cracking night and we're going to raise some cash for
We
House of
sure
Bread.
are, brilliant.
Yeah. And while we're on the subject of cash,
or on the subject of cash,
quick link
to the hot bumper stickers by any chance.
Yes, hot bumper stickers, they are back. Thank you very much, Nigel at Counterprint, who ran these off at a moment's notice. We're asking for donations of just £1. Just £1.
Just £1.
You know what, I'll be your first customer, I'll buy that one from you.
Thank you very much,
incredible.
Lee. Oh, what a nice man. What's the
Just
name of your company
£1.
again? Yeah. So yeah, stick
Tell you what,
it.
she's never asked me what the name of my company is.
No, I haven't. We'll get to it. One of these weeks we'll get to it. Yeah, so just £1, stick it on your car and show your support for House of Bread.
Great.
That's my marketing bit. How did I do, Will? All right.
And they get around so well, don't they? Every supermarket you see, there's always a dozen or so cars for them on.
Yeah, there are. Well, talking about marketing and fundraising, we've still. What about some alternative Christmas ideas? Are we still doing that Spreadshirt thing?
We're still doing Spreadshirt shop. The eBay shop.
Find that on the website.
Is still up and running.
eBay.
Yeah. So. Yeah, they're there.
Well, look, when you're thinking about buying gifts, don't just go to Argos, don't just go to Tesco, although we do like Tesco Stafford.
Yes.
For obvious
we
reasons.
love
We
Tesco Stafford.
But think about supporting not just not just buying a nice gift for somebody, but at the same time, it's like you're giving in two directions. So why wouldn't you get something from House of Bread at Spreadshirt, and,
or eBay? You
or
could get a pair of boxer shorts
with
with our loaf of bread with a little chimney on, suitably placed on the behind.
They're not the recycled boxer shorts.
They're not the recycled. They are brand new
boxer shorts.
Okay.
Okay.
On a
I really prefer these cards. I'm actually swiping my phone like this. Okay, Christmas. Oh yes, we're still getting the money doubled at local giving, which is just staggering. So please, if you haven't done it yet, think about donating, because £10 becomes 20 quid.
Yes.
I mean, what more could you ask for?
Plus gift aid.
And it is. Have we got that confirmed now that
Yes,
it is plus gift aid? So you give you give £10, it becomes £20 plus gift aid. That's phenomenal. Christmas Eve day and Christmas Eve. Excuse me.
Christmas Eve and Christmas
Eve
Day.
And Christmas Day plans. What's going on?
Right. Christmas Eve falls conveniently on a Wednesday this year, so we will be at Stafford Conservative Association. Christmas tree decorations. Doors open at 6. We'll be open till sort of 8:30, 9 o'clock Christmas Eve. We're going to have a buffet style on Christmas Eve, because on Christmas Day, our wonderful catering coordinator Alison, who has just come back off 2 weeks holiday in Tunisia, yes, it's cold here, isn't it? Is going to put on the full works, the full roast, the full Christmas dinner. So turkey, pigs in blankets, sprouts, all the
trimmings.
All the trimmings.
Oh,
yes.
Wonderful, lovely, proper. There's going to be a nice Christmassy feel there, I'm sure.
It is.
Tesco support. Oh, Tesco support for a family who would have had no Christmas this year.
Yeah.
Working with Hob to provide. This is our local Tesco store.
This is our local Tesco store.
Which is thanks very much to a particular person, isn't it?
Debbie Green, thank you so much. I had a phone call beginning of last week from my old health visitor. Not that she's old, but she was my health visitor when Jack was a baby. And she said, I've got a problem. So I said, okay. There's a family, a mum and 2 young children, just moved back to Stafford, have got nothing. They have furniture. We're trying to sort carpets out for them. No Christmas tree, no money to buy presents for the children. Thank you so much, Debbie. I made 1 phone call, a couple of emails, and it's all been sorted, and we're going to go and get the stuff on Wednesday. So Hob will provide the Christmas tree and the decorations for it, and some Christmassy food and things like that. But Debbie has got presents for the 2 children, presents for Mum, some extra special treaty things to eat. So thank you so much.
That is going to transform somebody's Christmas, isn't it?
I will be in tears. I will be in tears Wednesday morning. I know I will.
Wonderful! Wouldn't you just love to be there?
I know, when they open presents. That
great!
would be brilliant.
Good news.
Have you got the 100 Club on there?
No.
Oh right. Back in the mists of time, we tried this idea of setting up a 100 Club, where we try and find 100 people who would donate maybe a minimum of £5 a month to House of Bread. We are going to resurrect that. Will is working on the marketing at the moment, but this is just a heads up. If anybody would like to be part of that, then get in touch with me. I've got all the forms and stuff like that. And it's another way of just remembering Hob throughout the year. Hob is a year-long thing, not just for Christmas. You know.
Hob is for life, not
Hob
just
is
for
for
lunch.
life, not for life.
Oh dear. Okay. Continued need for House of Bread as rough sleepers are still present in Stafford each week. We do come to you every week, don't we, with a huge amount of good news. Which is this is a very positive show, but it's good news. And there's so much positive stuff happening. But let's not forget the reality. It's bitterly cold out there.
It is bitterly cold out there. We had 3 people come to us last week who found us, who are sleeping rough. One person we've managed to sort, the other 2 we are working towards, but it is still happening. I'm finding it increasingly difficult to pull the duvet over my head at night and think there's somebody out there who's not as warm as me.
Can I put you on the spot a little bit? This is a valid question that somebody asked me yesterday, and I've got my own response to it, of course, confidently, but I want to hear what you have to say. There will be people, as I'm sure you're aware, thinking, doesn't the existence of House of Bread mean that homeless people and people in need are going to gravitate towards Stafford? Isn't House of Bread making them appear? And what do you say to that?
Well, thank goodness we are, because without House of Bread, those people would be on their own.
Good. Well, that's a perfect answer. Well said. Thank you. Thank goodness we are. Thank goodness they are coming to us. Thank goodness we are here. Brilliant. Good news about Gapres. What's G prayers? Good news about G prayers for the visit. I tell you what. It's no, I don't know if you remember a few weeks ago, the handwriting was a struggle. The typing's not much better, is it? Good news about G prayers for the visit and offer of accommodation before Christmas.
Yes, yes. G is somebody who we have supported since the very existence of House of Bread.
Oh, okay. It's a person.
Yes, it is a person. Who
Can you tell us a quick backstory about G?
Quick backstory. Struggles every single day. Is an alcoholic. We've tried to get him into recovery. We've sort of taken 2 massive steps forward and then 3 steps backwards. But there is an organisation in Cannock who is willing to offer them accommodation, which will hopefully happen next week. So we can actually finally, after 20 odd years, a bit like Russell, actually get him off the streets and in somewhere safe, somewhere warm, somewhere where he can be supported while he continues to fight this battle.
Fantastic.
Amen. Pray at home, guys. Listen,
Yeah.
even if you don't pray and you don't particularly like to pray, pray because we like it and we want you to. It would really help. So just pray for House of Bread because we think that those prayers make a huge difference.
And the offer of that accommodation, I don't use the word miracle lightly, but we got to the stage with this particular person that we just could not do anymore. And then all of a sudden, somebody's picked up the phone and said, how about this?
Wonderful.
So please.
Right, we're going to wrap it up there. We've gone way past our benchmark 10 minutes again, I'm sure. If people are still hanging on watching this, thank you ever so much. We must be doing something right. As normal, I'd just like to end with one of the parables of modern life, that I like to call it. True story. True story. Brace yourself, because your sides are going to split. No, anyway, I heard this story. It would be familiar to a lot of people, and it's especially poignant under the circumstances that House of Bread find themselves under so regularly. There was a preacher standing at the front of his church talking to his congregation saying, guys, this church is at a standstill, you know? We're not doing anything. We need to be a functional, practical church, a church reaching out into this community. The church needs to walk the walk. And the congregation shout back, yes, preacher, yes, make it walk, preacher, make it walk. And the preacher's getting all energised and he starts getting all fired up, a bit like Matt at the anniversary service the other day.
Yeah.
And he's saying, this church doesn't need to walk the walk, this church needs to get out there, this church needs to run, this church needs power, this church needs Holy Spirit power, it needs to run into the community. And the congregation are getting really buzzed up and they're saying, yes, preacher, make the church run, preacher, make the church run. And the preacher's getting some response and some feedback. It's all starting to flow, all the energy's coming. And he says, I believe this church can fly. And the congregation shout back, make it fly, preacher, make it fly. And the preacher says, we're going to make this church fly, guys. We're going to need money. And the congregation shout back, make it walk, preacher, make it walk. With an apology.
Yeah.
And many thanks to Lisa and
Thank you.
Stephen. What did you tell me? Cranston, there you go. I used the Branston Pickle Association.
There you go.
Thank you very much. See you next time, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.